Hi there, my name is David. I'm the Motion Picture Program Coordinator for AFTA's Cape Town campus in South Africa. And this is my proposal for CILECT entitled AI and the Ethics of Representation towards a Guiding Methodology for the Teaching of New Technologies. I've worked as a writer for over 20 years and a producer, also worked in education. And a few years ago, I did my master's in screenwriting at the University of Cape Town with a focus on the representation of trauma and Holocaust film in particular, where the base of my argument was around the representation of trauma and who are we as filmmakers to represent someone else's trauma, and the questions around who we are to presume that we are telling those stories authentically when we were not there. So there was a lot of scholarship and a lot of research that I explored, and now with AI being a talking point around the world, issues around representation become even more complex and even more interesting. So I did an experiment along those lines, and this was the result. I've lost track of time since they tore me from my family and threw me into this living nightmare called a concentration camp. I am Anya, and as long as I breathe, I won't surrender to the darkness. So this might sound compelling, possibly even emotional. Perhaps it might change if I had to tell you that Anya does not exist, and this story does not exist. The only human element at play here was me going to ChatGPT 3.5 and prompting ChatGPT to please write a first-person testimony of a Holocaust concentration camp inmate named Anya, and this was the result. And when I saw this result myself, I realized that suddenly we're heading into a whole minefield of complexities around representing trauma and how we represent trauma using new technologies, also touching on Baudrillard's notion of the hyper-real, where what is real and what is not real are becoming more and more difficult to distinguish with new technologies, and what is real and has been real starts to lose all meaning and all context. And as I explore this for my own interest, I firmly believe that as film educators, teaching a new generation of filmmakers and storytellers, it is our responsibility, and indeed I feel our obligation, to talk them through some of these ethical considerations. Because if we are only teaching them how to use the technology and the tools on a technical level, we are ignoring all these complexities with regard to ethics and respect and the telling of stories, not only when it comes to the Holocaust, of course, but for many contexts. My own country, our history of apartheid, looking at conflict situations around the world and the telling of those stories, using AI to do so, but needing to do it ethically. And so I intend to embark upon the research to develop a guiding set of principles that we can then apply into a curriculum and guide students in how to respectfully and ethically tell stories using new technologies. And I hope to present my findings and observations at CILECT in 2024. Thank you so much.